So yeah, I'm Duncan Robinson, Head of Operations at Palace for Life. Palace for Life is the official charity of Crystal Palace Football Club. I've been working in the local community for over 25 years, helping young South Londoners grow through sport and using the power of the badge in order to do that. So we've been in operation for over 25 years in various different forms and guises. We've rebranded as Palace for Life Foundation 6 years ago, and yeah, it's gone from strength to strength really. I've been at the foundation for coming up to 8 years. When I first started, we only had about 20 full-time members of staff and another pool of sessional coaches, and now we're at nearly 50 full-time staff and 70 plus sessional coaches as well. So it's growing all the time. Obviously we're working with young South Londoners, that's our mission, and that's incredibly important. It's a very diverse area. We need to make sure that our workforce reflects the community that we work in, and there's so many ways that obviously that comes into play. So we have 4 leads across the organisation on LGBTQ+, race equality, women and girls and disability. So the leads in those 4 areas really drive that agenda and make sure that it is across everything that we do. All 4 of those areas are prioritised, and obviously there are certain things that don't necessarily fall under one of those 4 umbrellas, which is my role as the strategic EDI lead, to ensure that we are making sure that the organisation is as inclusive as it possibly can be. Our workforce is really diverse. We're really lucky that we're in a community and a location that is very diverse. So it's, that kind of naturally happens, but it is something that we do have to not get too complacent with, and we do still have to drive that and ensure that that does come into the workplace and the 4 equality leads that we have. Everyone has those kind of natural human biases, and it's about being aware of those and making sure that we are eliminating them as much as possible. And I think we're lucky that our management team in particular and the hiring managers are fully on board with that, and we only really recruit people that does fit into their values. That's part of our recruitment process. So again, it's not something that we have to get their buy-in to because they're already bought into it. We hopefully we're all on the same wavelength with it. We all want that diverse workforce, all the benefits that brings. Using Team Taylor, we make sure that we run a report on every role that we advertise for, and every recruitment that we make. We'll run a report, we put a questionnaire whenever anyone applies for a job, all anonymous, but at the end of that we'll run a report based on the answers, who's then gone through to interview, who's then secured a job at the end of that, and at each stage seeing what those numbers are and where the impact is and how the numbers have fluctuated through each stage. We've had Team Taylor for 2 years. We've recruited say 100 people in that time, and we use anonymous mode for every single one of them. That is a non-negotiable in every recruitment that we do. There are certain non-negotiables that we have, so we always make sure that we show the salary, for example. We always make sure it's an anonymous process. We have those non-negotiables in place to ensure as much as inclusivity as possible. I think it's very easy to just recruit through the kind of big organisations, Indeed and those sorts of places. I think it's really important to go to or certainly from our experience, we found going to some more local organisations, whether it might be churches, mosques, whatever it might be. I think it totally depends on the location that you're in, but certainly for us, those are things that we've found, organisations within the field that can help with these kind of things. So for us, Kick It Out, we advertise all of our jobs on Kick It Out, Women in Football, places like that, which really help us to reach every single sort of demographic. And I think we're not there yet. You're never totally finished with this work, but it's about making gradual improvements and getting closer to where you want to be as an organisation. And certainly, I think year on year we found that, and certainly since introducing Team Taylor, we've seen that massively grow. So certainly in the right direction.